Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're setting our sights on a place that feels both incredibly close and impossibly far, Proxima Centauri b. And we're not just looking at star charts today. Our source material, it's this really vivid song, almost like a dispatch from the front lines of trying to colonize this place. It really drills down into this core dilemma, keeps asking this question, terraform or tomb?
Exactly. That's the heart of it. And our mission today really is to unpack that. We're going to look at the science, the sheer audacity of the tech involved, and, those big existential questions that bubble up. It's not just about what makes it hard, but why it presents such a fundamental choice for humanity's future out there. What does this whole struggle tell us about ourselves?
Yeah, and the source just throws you right in. It starts, boot sequence start, we deploy on the ground. You almost feel that landing, that moment of arrival. But right away, you sense the sheer scale of what's next. So, okay, let's get grounded in what we're actually dealing with at Proxima b. It's our closest neighbor star, super alluring, right? Potential new home. But the source, it just immediately cuts through any, romantic ideas. What are those first big challenges it throws at us?
Well, the very next line hits hard. No oxygen here, just a ghost in the sound. And that's not just poetry. No oxygen. That's life support failure from step one. It means every single place people exist has to be a completely sealed bubble. You're not building houses, you're building life support machines on a massive scale. Think about the power needed, the complexity just to breathe. It makes every breath manufactured.
Okay, so basic survival is already incredibly engineered, but it gets worse, right? The source flags another huge danger. Magnetosphere weak. Solar flares go boom. Now, for people listening, a weak magnetosphere, that's not just a small detail, is it? What does that really mean, especially those flares?
Oh, it's catastrophic. It completely changes the game for colonization. Earth's magnetosphere, its shield, protects us from the sun's nasty stuff. Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf. Its flares can be way, way more intense than our sun's, and Proxima b doesn't have that strong shield. It's basically wide open. So these flares, they're not just light shows. They're blasts of radiation, lethal, instantly lethal to us outside. And for tech, constant bombardment. It fries electronics, degrades materials. The source nails it. Every habitat built feeling like a tomb. Those red skies, obscene. It's this constant oppressive threat. Makes you realize you wouldn't be living on the planet. You'd be hiding inside it, deep underground, permanently.
Wow. Yeah, tomb feels disturbingly accurate then. It completely strips away that frontier fantasy. And the source puts that choice right up front, doesn't it? Do we settle or crash in the stellar domain? It's not about throwing. Initially, it's just, can we even exist there, or is it game over? The stakes feel immense.
Immense, absolutely. It's not rhetorical, it's practical. Can the physics, the engineering, even allow us to settle? Or is the environment just fundamentally insurmountable? It's the ultimate gamble.
Okay, so faced with that reality, no air, constant radiation, it makes sense that the human response in the source is, well, technology, let's fix it. It brings up Terraform scripts, my Unity scene, that's specific. Right. Unity, like the game engine. What does that suggest about the approach?
Yeah, the Unity reference is fascinating. It suggests something maybe more subtle, more controlled than just, smashing ice asteroids into the planet. It points towards using complex simulations, maybe AI-driven systems, automated processes trying to tweak the atmosphere, introduce microbes, manage water, like designing a level in a game but on a planetary scale, trying to code habitability. But then, bam, but the code keeps breaking, and that's the kicker. Is our tech not good enough? Do we fundamentally misunderstand planetary science?
Or is it just hubris? Believing we can script a world, it raises huge questions.
Right. It's not just hitting run. Yeah. And the source digs into that struggle. It says, debug the biosphere, patch this life, C++ prayers through the endless strife. That sounds relentless. Like constantly plugging leaks in a dam that's about to burst. Not exactly smooth sailing. How does that coding language translate to, fixing a planet? It perfectly captures the sheer, almost impossible complexity. Debugging a biosphere. Think about it. Countless interacting parts. Atmospheric chemistry, geology, any life you introduce is infinitely harder than debugging software. There's no undo button for planetary engineering. And patching this life suggests it's always reactive, trying to stop collapses before they happen, keeping these fragile, maybe artificial ecosystems alive. The C++ prayers bit, that's really telling. C++ is deep fundamental code. Errors have huge consequences. It means they're not just tinkering. They're trying to rewrite the planet's operating system, hoping it doesn't crash. It's hacking nature at its core. And all this while, as the source says, every flare wave hitting harder than base. Those flares aren't just background noise. They're constant disruption, preventing any stability. creates no safe space.
Just utterly relentless. Wow. And amidst all that external pressure, the source gives this weird, fascinating internal glimpse. Anime fight scenes in my domed screen view. Neon katana cut the atmosphere blue. What's going on there? Is that just escapism or something more profound about coping in that environment?
It's such a human detail, isn't it? Amidst the high-tech struggle, and I think it could be both, definitely escapism. I mean, imagine living in that tomb, constant pressure, constant failure.
Yeah.
You'd need an outlet, a way to feel powerful, heroic, even if it's virtual. The neon katana cutting the atmosphere blue, maybe that's symbolic, fighting back against the hostile environment or even the artificiality of their own sealed existence. It hints at the psychological burden. These virtual worlds, these anime tropes, they might be crucial sanity for motivation when reality is so relentlessly grim.
So the brute force engineering is failing, the coding is even the psychological coping mechanisms point to the harshness. Where does that leave us? The source suggests this. Oh, this really radical next step. Upload my mind to a digital ark. Leave my flesh behind, light years in the dark. That's the ultimate adaptation, I guess. What does that tell us about the viability of physical life there? And what does it do to the idea of colonization?
It's profound, isn't it? It basically says the physical body, our biology, it just can't handle Proxima B, not sustainably. The radiation, the lack of air, the sheer hostility. Maybe it's just too much for flesh and blood. So uploading consciousness is the ultimate escape clause. Shed the vulnerable body, become adaptable data. But the questions are huge. If we're just digital minds living in servers on Proxima B, have we colonized it? Is that human expansion? Or something else entirely? What does home even mean if you're software? It forces a complete redefinition of, well, everything. Being human, colonizing, existing.
And even then, even with that leap into digital existence, the source pulls us right back to something fundamentally human and honestly kind of heartbreaking. But the kids still ask, is this home, Dad, when the air burns red and the storms go mad? Wow. Does technology, even mind uploading, actually solve that deep need for a real home, for safety?
That line just cuts right through all the tech, doesn't it? It suggests that, no, maybe it doesn't. Because home isn't just about surviving. It's about feeling safe, secure, nurtured, belonging, even in a digital ark or a shielded habitat. The fundamental nature of Proxima B, the red air, the mad storms, it's still the backdrop, a constant reminder of hostility. The source says, closest neighbor's star feels colder than home. And that nails it. Technology can keep you alive, maybe, but can it create that feeling of genuine belonging in a place that seems actively trying to reject you? Some needs maybe are just hardwired deeper than code.
So the struggle just morphs. It doesn't end. The source says, no cheat code here, just survival mode, anime courage in a cracked up code. That really sums up the sheer grit required, doesn't it? What kind of resilience are we talking about here?
We're talking about something almost mythic, unrelenting. No cheat code, no easy way out, no magic fix. It's pure survival mode, day in, day out, against the odds, against failing systems. And that anime courage in a cracked up code, it's brilliant. Like those anime heroes facing impossible situations, drawing on sheer willpower. It suggests finding that strength even when everything around you is broken, when the environment is lethal, when your very existence is being redefined. It's resilience found not in grand victories maybe, but in the daily grind of just keeping things going, patching the code, enduring the gloom. It speaks to that relentless human drive to just keep pushing. So right at this up, what really emerges from our source is this incredible tension, right? You have this monumental, almost primal human ambition, reach the stars, build a new home on Proxima Centauri B, but it slams headfirst into these brutal environmental realities and technological brick walls. It forces us to question everything, how we build, how we live, even what we are.
Absolutely. And that core question the source keeps hitting, like a drumbeat. Terraform or tomb? What's going to be? Ooh. Followed by that final, open-ended challenge to the planet itself. Proxima B, will you bloom or consume? It doesn't give us an answer. It leaves us hanging right there on the edge of that massive uncertainty.
And maybe that uncertainty is the real point. Thinking about terraform or tomb, what does that whole narrative really tell us about us? About our drive to expand, our definition of home, our willingness to push boundaries even against impossible odds. Is the outcome bloom or consume the only thing that matters? Or is it the struggle itself, that relentless striving in the face of the cosmic gloom, that truly defines this chapter of human ambition? It's something profound to think about, looking up at our nearest stellar neighbor. What are we willing to become to reach it?